Hello, I'm Heather Martin, and today I'm going to be solving case study G for you. In this case, we deal with Robert and Bobby, a couple who live in Warner Robins, Georgia, and Bobby's parents who live in Valdosta, and Bobby's brother and his family who live in Baltimore. Robert, who is 62, is ready to retire. He has severe allergies to pollen and mold that are common to this part of Georgia, and he would like to move to Arizona for his health just as soon as he retires. However, Bobby, who did not work outside the home until their children were in high school, is now working at a job she loves, and she needs 2 more years at her current job in order to be vested in the company's pension plan. Bobby's parents, both in their 80s, live in Valdosta. Her mother has had several minor strokes and is in poor health. The woman whom Bobby has been paying to do light housekeeping and a few other things for her parents is unhappy with the fact that the sheets have been soiled daily for the last 2 weeks. Bobby's brother, who currently lives in Baltimore, is out of work. His youngest child is a junior in high school. The 2 older children no longer live at home. One is in a drug rehab program, and the other child is a senior in college. The key issues, as I see them, number 1 is Robert's allergies. Robert's allergies are an important part of the family's dynamics and must be viewed as a weakness, not only personally, but for the whole group. Another important issue is the fact that they need as much retirement income as possible, and Bobby won't be vested in her company's pension plan for 2 more years. The fact that Bobby can be vested in a pension plan in 2 years is a strength and vital to their long-term security. Bobby's parents need more intensive care than they're currently getting. Since Bobby's brother is out of work, he may be able to relocate, but he needs to take into consideration the fact that his youngest child has 2 more years of school to complete and probably does not want to leave his or her friends. This is Bobby's family's ecosystem. As you can see, we have separate units here. There's Bobby and Robert, Bobby's parents, and Bobby's brother and family. This is their system, the family system, that is both interactive and interdependent. Although they live separately, they are interrelated, and one unit's dynamics affects the other units. These are the basic human needs. Each group has basic human needs as shown in this chart: self-esteem, actualization, love, belonging, safety, and the physiological needs of food, shelter, and health. Robert's health needs are one of the primary concerns at this moment. His family's need for adequate food and shelter are partly tied up in the need for Bobby to be vested in her company's pension plan. Bobby's need for self-esteem and actualization are tied up in her love of her job. Bobby's parents need safety, a feeling of being loved, and a sense of belonging. Bobby's brother needs a way to provide food and shelter for his family, and his youngest child needs for his or her family's feelings to be valued. This is part of that person's self-esteem. These are the alternatives that I have come up with. Robert and Bobby could both move to Arizona as soon as Robert retires. Robert could move to Arizona by himself, and Bobby could move in 2 years once she's vested. Robert could stay in Warner Robins, take prescription medication to try to control his allergies, and perhaps travel back and forth to Valdosta to help care for Bobby's parents. Or Robert and Bobby could wait for 2 years and then move to Arizona together. Bobby's parents could come to live with her and Robert and then move to Arizona with them. Or Bobby's brother and his family could move to Valdosta to help care for his mother. And this is my evaluation. If Robert and Bobby both move to Arizona when he retires, that will cancel Bobby's pension. That's not a good idea. Everyone needs as much income as possible at retirement. Although Robert would be better off insofar as his allergies are concerned if he leaves as soon as he retires, a long-term separation is detrimental to a marriage and should be avoided if at all possible. Robert should not go to Arizona without his wife. He may be able to take prescription medication to get him by until they can both leave. As far as Robert providing major care for his wife's parents, it is probably not feasible. Men are not normally nurturers. Usually, the vast majority of people who voluntarily become nurses are women. As far as Robert and Bobby moving to Arizona in 2 years when she is vested, this is feasible. However, the problem of her parents' care should be resolved before they leave. Bobby's parents could move in with Robert and Bobby now, and then move to Arizona with them. However, this is not a good idea. Elderly people do not adjust well to a radical change in their surroundings. They would be much better off if they could remain in their home with some additional care as long as possible. And lastly, if Bobby's brother and his family moved to Valdosta to help care for his parents, it could help in a number of ways, and this is the best way. It could provide him with a rent-free place to live, which would in turn free up some of his money to hire adequate care for his parents. On the other hand, perhaps his wife could provide some of the care for her in-laws. This is, of course, assuming that Bobby's brother could find employment in Valdosta. By assuming the care of his parents, he could take his turn, so to speak, and relieve Bobby of the burden that she has been shouldering by herself. The only problem with Bobby's brother moving to Valdosta is ensuring that his youngest child, who is a junior in high school, would not be made to feel that his or her feelings do not matter. He or she should be made to understand that the grandparents' care is a vital issue in their family's dynamics, and everyone needs to take a part in it. The grandparents will not be around that very much longer and need to be made to feel that they are an important part of the family. The best course of action, as I see it, is that Robert and Bobby should stay in Warner Robins until Bobby is vested in a pension plan. Bobby's brother and family should move to Valdosta to help care for his parents. This would not only help his parents to feel loved and important, but it would bless Bobby's brother's family to be a vital part in the important care of his parents. The assumptions are that I'm assuming Robert will be able to receive adequate medication to be able to remain in Georgia for 2 more years. Also, Bobby's brother will not only be willing to move to Valdosta to help care for his parents, but his youngest child will be made to feel an important part of the family as well, and that his wife will be willing to provide care for his parents. And that concludes my study of Case